Yo, what's up fam? Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today, I gotta talk about this. There are two new epic champions I've been playing around with. And listen, these champs are straight up ridiculous. Like, I didn't expect them to hit this hard or perform this well, but after using them, bruh, I had to make a whole video just to put y'all on game. These epics are honestly way too good to keep quiet about. Now, before we dive deep into why I'm calling these guys insanely valuable, if you've been on the fence about trying Raid, or maybe you're thinking about starting a new account, this is hands down the best time to do it. Hit the link in the description, and you're instantly stacking up with 3 legendaries off the rip. Elenaril as your sign-up legendary, throw in the promo code Desert Queen, and boom, 2 Hanorok unlocked, and then wait for it. A special 7-day calendar that lands you Michelangelo as a reward. And hey, you'll even pick up a few epics while you level up. Like, they're basically building your roster for free. So stop sleeping. Download Raid, roll with me, and let's tear up some dungeons together. Alright, so here's the deal. I gotta talk about 2 epics that have seriously grown on me. Like, you know how sometimes a champ just sneaks up on you? You pull him, you mess around with him a bit, and suddenly you're like, wait a second, hold up. This champ is actually cracked? Yeah, that's exactly what happened here. Both of these epics are fairly new to the game. One came through a fusion, the other slid in a little more recently. And guess what? They're both rocking that Skinwalkers faction. And man, I don't know what it is, but I've really fallen in love with these two. They just feel different. They hit harder. They bring more value than I originally expected. Now, to be fair, it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows with the newer epics. Y'all remember that kind of underwhelming void? Sandra? Yeah, not exactly setting the world on fire. So yeah, not every epic they drop is a banger, but when Raid gets it right, man, they really get it right. And over the last year or two, we've been seeing some epics, especially voids, that are genuinely impressive. And here's the thing. This is what annoys me sometimes. A lot of people instantly sleep on epics. Like, they'll pull an epic and be like, whatever, not a legendary, straight to the vault. And I'm like, bro, you are throwing away some serious value. Epics can be absolute game changers if you actually take the time to test them out. They're cheaper to build, easier to book, and some of them end up outperforming legendaries in the right situations. But even if you don't have them yet, I want you to at least flag these champs in your brain. Because from what I've seen, they're a lot better than the tier lists and rankings out there are giving them credit for. Like, I checked a few lists while I was prepping this video, and honestly, I don't agree. I think these two are sitting way higher in terms of value than the average player might expect. So who are we talking about? Alright, first up, let's talk about Yuzan the Marooned. Now this dude right here, he is not just swinging a giant spiked maul for fun. Nah, he's not only cracking skulls, he's actually protecting his whole squad while he's at it. Yuzan is an epic HP champion from the Skinwalkers faction, and honestly, he surprised me. Like, at first glance, you see the weapon and think, okay, this guy's just built for raw damage, but nah, that thing is hiding some serious support tech. So Yuzan was first introduced to Raid as part of the Lysanthier Beastbane fusion, and his whole kit screams, I got your back, fam. He's all about blocking incoming debuffs, healing allies, and stripping enemies of their juicy buffs. And that's the kind of kit that doesn't just look good on paper, it feels amazing when you're actually running him in those tougher fights. Now, let's break down what makes him pop off. His A3 is where the magic starts. He opens up by removing a random debuff from all allies, heals the whole squad by 20% of his max HP, and then slaps a block debuffs buff on everyone. That's 3 big effects in one move, and it's clutch in any kind of faction-limited content. I'm talking Cursed City, Secret Rooms, Hard Faction Wars, the places where your roster gets tested and you're desperate for sustain. That combination of cleanse, heal, and block debuffs is the exact kind of safety net you need to survive those long, grindy battles. And here's the thing that pushes it over the top. His passive. Anytime Yuzan gets overhealed, so like, any heal that goes beyond what he personally needs, he actually shares 20% of that surplus heal with his allies. And that's off every skill. So imagine him throwing down heals, cleansing, stripping buffs, and then on top of that, just funneling bonus HP to the rest of your team. It's like he's constantly sprinkling health dust across your squad. Low-key, one of the most underrated support passives out there. Then we get to his A2, Thundering Charge. And this one? Oh, it's dirty. He charges in, rips 2 random buffs off every enemy, and for every buff he strips, he heals himself by 10%. So not only are you wrecking enemy defenses by removing things like block damage, shields, or strengthen, but you're also topping himself off, which again triggers that passive and pushes healing back to the team. It's one of those abilities that feels like it does double duty every time you press it. And when you put it all together, Yuzan really shines as a PvE specialist. He's perfect for wave clearing in faction-limited modes, and he's sneaky good against bosses that spam debuffs or rely on protection. Think about dragon runs, or nasty Doom Tower bosses like the Griffin. Yuzan is built to keep your squad alive while breaking down the enemy's safety net. Bottom line? Yuzan is that kind of epic people glance over because he's not flashy, but once you actually use him, you realize just how much utility and sustain he brings. For me, he's one of those champs that went from cool, I'll build him later, to yo, why am I not using this guy everywhere? Next up, we gotta talk about Gom Yellowhand. And let me just say, this dude is not here to play games. You roll up into the Skinwalker lands thinking you're about to flex, and then boom, you're face to face with this tusked warrior who looks like he eats intruders for breakfast. His whole vibe is, you thought you were gonna get a turn? Nah, fam, sit down. Gom is all about speed and control. He's the guy that makes sure your team always moves first, always hits first, and always keeps the enemy stuck in place like they're glued to the floor. And I love it because his presence alone just screams, you're not doing anything on my watch. The core of his kit is simple but deadly. Crowd control, speed boosting, and dropping useful debuffs. His bread and butter move is his A3, and man, it's filthy. He's got a 75% chance to stun every single enemy on the field, and on top of that, he shaves 15% off their turn meters. That means not only are they locked in place drooling on themselves, but when they finally wake up, they're even further behind in the turn race. And the best part? It's on a 3-turn cooldown. That's insane consistency. You can take this dude into almost any content. Faction wars, Doom Tower, arena, wave-based stuff, and he's always relevant. Like, enemies just don't get to play the game when Gom is around. Then his A2 keeps the momentum rolling. He drops an increased speed buff on your whole squad, letting your allies cycle turns faster, and throws in a continuous heal for that steady sustain. So not only is he making sure you lap the enemy, he's also making sure your team stays topped off. It's like he's saying, yeah, we're faster, we're healthier, and oh, by the way, you're still stunned. Straight disrespectful. And let's talk about that passive. Every single time an ally gets hit, Gom gets a 5% turn meter boost. So the more the enemy tries to fight back, the quicker Gom gets back to his big stun and lockdown move. That means you're never waiting too long before he's back in control mode. It's like the enemy is digging their own grave every time they swing. Finally, his A1 ties the whole kit together. He throws out leech and heal reduction. Now, that's big brain utility because it shuts down healing bosses like Amius or the Nether Spider. No more nasty regen saving them, no more drawn-out fights. And with leech in play, your whole team gets to lifesteal just by hitting things. That's extra sustain on top of the continuous heals he's already providing. So yeah, Gom is basically the definition of an annoying champ, but in the best way possible. For the enemy, he's a nightmare. Stuns, speed control, healing denial. They can't move, they can't heal, and meanwhile your team is cruising. And for you, he's that MVP you didn't know you needed until you slot him in and watch entire waves collapse while you just sit back like, yup, that's my boy. Bottom line, if Yuzan is the protective guardian, Gom is the bully. He rolls up, locks everything down, and just dares the enemy to do something about it. Spoiler alert, they can't. And that's the breakdown, guys. 2 epics that I honestly think are straight up monsters and deserve way more love than they're getting. Now, real quick, if you're ready to jump into Raid, or maybe start fresh, don't forget the link in the description. Seriously, it's the easiest way to get a stacked account early. But yo, Yuzan the Marooned with that non-stop team sustain and buff control. And Gom Yellowhand just bullying entire waves with speed, stuns, and healing denial. These two are the real deal. If you've got them, build them. If you don't, pray to the shard gods, because trust me, they're worth it. That's it for me today. Let me know in the comments which one of these epics you're rocking with, or if you've got a sleeper epic you think deserves the spotlight. Until next time, keep grinding, keep pulling, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.